Bishop and Welsh at it. And here we go. Scott McLaren with Brett Allen and Michael Vozzo. The South Australian match of the century is underway. And Shirley gives the Adelaide Crows the first few metres of territory, but Kingsley works it clear. And Montgomery, a veteran for Port Adelaide, gives Kane Corns the first clear opportunity, and he delivers to his brother, next to whom he stood during the national anthem. Port Adelaide's ball. They'll make the first parry.
When you're watching the highlights, don't do anything silly, okay? Don't want to cost yourselves a goal or anything. You've got to find them to play with.
So the umpire's calling the shots early as Corns goes to Trenray. Rutten picks him off and knocks it over the line.
And we see that a lot, the power forwards leading towards the boundary line. Barry Hall did it last night. Trenray started. I guess they're a little bit nervous, but that's just ideal for a defender to get a fist on it, put it out of bounds, get his confidence up.
The two Bs. Biglands against Brogan. Brogan got the tap. Wanganeen in game 299. Is it advantage? No, it's
back here, Gavin, your kick, Gavin. Gavin,
Wanganeen has got it.
Port Adelaide midfielders break towards the centre of the ground, open up space behind the man on the mark.
Playing his 24th final and his 17th showdown. Goes to Pickett.
So Adelaide back in numbers. It's a crowded 50. Went for Lade, he missed him. Now Brogan with McLeod against him. Won't be easy. Stays alive. McLeod conjures it. Works it brilliantly. No one else on the ground could have done it. Thompson, clever, down a corridor. A narrow one. Burton, good grab.
It's got to be 50. Should be 50. Umpire's not playing it. Wilson showing his aggression on Burton early.
So the Crows turn now. He goes for Tawney, who marks and kept his footing while Wanganeen lost his. Now Bock, the defender, is within range. A little tentative with the kick.
Jason Tawney been out of this Adelaide Crows team for 6 weeks with a back injury. Played a couple of games in the local. And here he is there. Usually plays in defence.
So Kingsley to do the kicking in. Pretty ordinary kick, to say the least. Mistimed it as he put it back in. Edwards goes short to McGregor, who we saw do so much damage early last week against the Saints. And I reckon McGregor's just within range. He'll be kicking from about 52 metres out. Just mishit the kick, did Kingsley.
Kingsley was aiming for Daryl Wakeland, who often gets out there where the 50-metre line crosses over the boundary line, and the kick fell 10 metres short.
26 goals, 17 this year for McGregor, converting at 61%. Big Lands works his way to the front. The big fella just out-muscled his opponent in Brogan, and Biglands will have a shot from 5 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Strong grab.
Well, you called it perfectly, Quarters. He was behind. You can see Biglands is behind. Brogan takes his eyes off the ball, has a sneaky look behind to see where Biglands is. While that's going on, Biglands says, I'll take the mark. And that is a real victory for the Crows to get a mark like that in the goal square this early in the game.
Just to 7 goals this season. Oh, he's missed it. And Brogan lets him know about it too.
There was nothing in it.
As umpire McLaren says, stop your acting. Oh, it was Academy Award stuff.
It was an awful miss, almost as bad as the acting. Adelaide don't kick a lot of goals. They've had 2 very substantial opportunities, and they've muffed them both. Bock and Biglands. Now, can Port get it right this time? That's a well-weighted kick.
That's the one they go to probably half a dozen times a game. Wakeland sets himself up there, 50-metre line, intersects the boundary. The Crows should be awake to that play because they've been doing it for 2 years.
Daryl Wakeland, veteran of finals at 2 clubs. Just got himself out of a corner, hugs the boundary. Biglands back there, not able to do the business. So a throw in on the wing. The only 2 scores, minors from the Crows. It'll be Biglands and Brogan at each other's throat again. And let's see who can get the better of it here. Brogan in good position. Matner covered it.
Come on!
Peter Burgoyne gains a few metres
Run in!
for another throw in. A seething mass of supporters right around this ground.
Warren Treadray, as you can see, just outside the forward 50 area. Behind him, he's got Pettigrew, Marnie and Lade back in the goal square. Bassett playing on Lade.
On!
Biglan's over the top, got it to Goodwin.
On!
Quick hands to Tawney. That ends up in the arms of Rashuto, who pumps it to half forward. No mark to Wakeland. Wilson, strong. Drives it back to half forward. Rutten against Treadray. Rutten works his way to the front. Clever little tap. Rashuto couldn't control it. Rutten follows up. Great play by the defender. Now Hart. Adelaide resolute in defence. This is Shirley. He goes back to the wing, looking for Biglan's. No mark. McLeod. Now McGregor. To Matner. Wakeland raised it, tackling McGregor, but he avoids the handball, and there's pressure stuff out there.
Crows playing good composed footy, and they can build something up here. McLeod placing it long for Welsh. What a fine mark.
Move away!
Bishop lining up on Welsh, and he went for it, which was a good sign. Ball hung in the air for a while, and the full forward backed himself. You can see Bishop's spoiling attempt, not good enough. What they need now is to get one through the middle, because terrible miss before by Biglands.
He's the man for it. 42 goals, 18 from set shots this year. That's a very good percentage. Here's his moment. Behind the stick. A third behind. Disappointing outcomes, but Neil Craig would like what he sees in a more general sense.
So let's see if Kingsley can make a better fist of this one. He goes the very short option. So Wilson.
Kick it now! Play on!
To half back. And the kick's good. Finds Burgoyne. It's Peter Burgoyne. Averaging 21 disposals and 5 clearances a game this season.
Well, they're in no rush to move the ball on, Port Adelaide. Taking their time.
Kicks to a contest. Brogan again gets out-muscled by Biglands. Knocked forward by Pickett. Adelaide had the numbers. But Treadray comes in and with sheer strength won the ball. But couldn't control it. Cleared by Rutten into the middle and Burton. And here's another chance for the Crows. Sidesteps Wilson. Unloads a monster kick. He's looking for Welsh. Pack fly. Bishop did it nicer to Chapman. Power out of danger.
Chad Corns working his way back, even though he is playing a midfield role. Now Peter Burgoyne sees daylight and goes for it. And he'll try and open up things with some scything runs through the night. The numbers against Josh Marnie. It's not paid to John Cobb, but he has time and he has space. Gives to Edwards. Cassisi's got him. McLeod's got the footy. No, he hasn't. Peter Burgoyne and his brother riding shotgun control it. Pickett, Chad Corns. It's all being done under pressure by Port. Oh, Goodwin, a mighty leap. But Marnie kept his composure. Did well. Rutten and Treadray. Strength being tested there. Hart with Pettigrew, and Adelaide hold up well again.
You don't see Warren Treadray out-muscled too much or even matched in that department, do you, Robert?
No, Ben Rutten is one strong unit, and he has the knack of getting the body in the way of his opponent and then just getting a spoiling fist on the ball, just to clear it from the danger area.
Ooh, the fresh
Watch
air.
your boots!
And there you go.
Took his head off! Sorry, Port 3.
A kicking in danger. You don't see it too often.
Just kicked him in the hands. Right out, Peter! Peter! Take him
So
out,
Brogan's got it at half forward.
Right out, Rob! Keep going, Rob!
Treadray provides the lead. It's cut off. Bravely by Tawney.
Yeah, well done by Tawney. Experienced defender. He knows that they'll go to Treadray probably 7 times out of 10 when they cross that 50-metre line. So he got in the way.
He shorts it to Thompson. He kicks quite cleverly to the wing and finds Henschel. Got it to Edwards. He's got exquisite skills, and that is no exception.
He hooked that in beautifully. Bassett's come from the back line forward.
Matner's kick didn't have the weight. Cleverly done by Welsh. Great opportunity. Perry first. And it was well deserved. They've taken all the honours early.
This is the kicking in danger. And Brogan gets the free kick. Smart play by Welsh. Bassett, as you can see, shepherding there for Perry. He's run 100 metres from the back pocket to get down there to help out.
It has been all Adelaide early. 1-3. The power yet to score haven't even looked like it.
Mark Williams has moved Wanganeen as a spare man in defence. He started on the wing. Tawney was his opponent. Wanganeen now helping out in the back line. There's Tawney, his opponent.
He had a fresh airy. Little soccer by McLeod. Has another crack at it. Pumps it long. Deep into attack. Perry again got the front posse. Wanganeen was desperate. So was Perry. And we'll have a bounce. Oh, he's been pinged.
He got it! Kick, Darryl! Take the kick, Darryl! Take the kick, Darryl!
Darryl Wakeland playing out at centre-half back on McGregor.
Dived on the ball.
Yeah, well, that's the rule. You dive on it, you're penalised.
15, play on.
So free kick to the power. Corn short into the middle. Finds Wanganeen.
Well, they just can't let Wanganeen go free in that back half because he is a ball magnet.
Peter Burgoyne, third use of the ball. Now Porter hitting the wall as they get to half forward. They don't even get there this time. Thompson with a man loose, and it's Tawney. Porter forgotten about him. Unloads from a long, long way. Another behind. It is all Adelaide.
Well, it's an interesting situation. If Tawney stays around the midfield, pushing half forward for the Crows, he can be dangerous because he hasn't got an opponent. Wanganeen's just sitting in the hole in the back line at the moment.
6-2 are the inside 50s favouring the Crows. Stuart Dew is offering the lead and he receives it in the end.
Thanks, Trent. Right there, mate.
Well, Chad Corns is running free at the moment. Bock actually started on him.
And the Crows are really strangling the power at the moment around the midfield and at half forward. Great mark. Taken by Bock, who squares it into the middle. Here's Martin Matner. Had an excellent season. Not a lot on offer, so he goes to his defensive teammate, Rutten.
Just about all the players in the Crows forward half.
Rutten to Bock. That's where it all started. He goes short to half forward. Finds Bassett, so there is, in fact, no one in one half of the ground at the moment. Entire 36 players and Adelaide's attacking half. Now Bassett goes backwards 50 metres.
Yeah, Ben Hart streaming forward in the middle. This opens it up a bit for them.
So it's the last line of defence. Working it across the centre. Bassett, Rutten and Hart. Chad Corns gives to Dew, who's come on to try and spark Port Adelaide. And already he's had it a couple of times. Chad Corns with absolutely nothing to go to. It's a clever kick. He could have Dacos like and gained 50 metres.
It was a clever kick, Tim. And look, he's just had a heap of the football in the last few minutes. In fact, he's had 7 disposals, but he hasn't got an opponent because Bock, his direct opponent, has decided to stay in the middle of the ground like Tawney has on Wanganeen. So you'd think at this stage, Port Adelaide are just saying, well, we don't want Adelaide to score.
Clark on, so Adelaide have switched their ruckman. The throw-in fell short. Chad Corns in the midst of it again. He's got about 4 opponents this time.
Who's back?
A push in the back, and Adelaide free kick. Shirley gives to Goodwin. And that's a good collect by Henschel under some pressure.
Henschel. Short, looks for Edwards, no mark. Wanganeen the spoils. Playing game 2-9-9 as the champ. Kingsley at half-back, squeezes the kick into the middle. Marnie has it knocked away. Rashuto coughed it up. Kane Corns to Treadrate. He pumps it long. Hart's got the set. It's a free kick though. Yeah, it's going against Burgoyne.
Burgoyne bumped into Hart. Hart smart, enabled himself to be hit.
So there's a free kick against Peter Burgoyne, no doubt about that. And Hart wastes no time as he finds Thompson at half-back.
So Adelaide control proceedings again. Shirley to Bassett, and he goes for Henschel. This time Wilson makes the spoil. And Treadray, front and square, can try and set something up. Pettigrew should have held on to that, but Rutten prizing it away.
And we've just seen multiple interchanges at this 15-minute mark of the game.
They've confused themselves, Port Adelaide, I think.
Yeah, Chad Corns, he's just bowling along without anyone near him at the moment. 7 touches. He's heading for a 40 disposal game.
At least Port Adelaide wouldn't have to worry about a count at the moment.
Chad Corns doing the ruck work. Burton roving it. And John Cock. And here go the Crows. Half distance, Henschel again. Now Perry are coming a long way from goal. Still the margin just 10 points. If Port can weather this storm, they might be well pleased to be within a goal or two. Kasisi mops up this time. Franco, who started on the bench. Now the veteran Lade to Walsh under pressure. Stripped of it. Finds some allies. Dew. Now young Pearce. Sean Burgoyne. Franco checked the kick. Steered it cleverly. Montgomery. Kind bounce. Port still battling to set anything up coherently. Brogan, Pearce, Adelaide applying tremendous pressure. Now it's Montgomery, and his little dab finds the big man Brogan.
In between wing and half forward.
Matthew Clark, Adelaide ruckman, filling the hole. Space near the boundary line for Port Adelaide players to lead to. And that's where they've gone again.
Long ball, looks for Treadray. He's outnumbered.
Just so easy for the defence when the ball hangs like that. Belted out of bounds. Treadray looks at his teammate, and I think he's got to start to think, well, maybe I might be better off leading towards the centre corridor.
50 out from the power goal. Beautifully sharked by Franco to Pearce. To Marnie. Hurried kick inside 50. Swooping on it is Goodwin. From one champ to another, McLeod. His handball over to Bott. Got to be clean here, and he is. Well played under immense pressure. Tawney ducked the tackle. It was good enough. As Adelaide now take the ball out of defence through McLeod,
who has started in outstanding manner. Perry couldn't quite hang on at the second attempt. Dew has been excellent since coming on. Now he's on the centre line. Can't kick one of his long goals from there. Marnie did well and comes out of it with a free kick for a high tackle.
Great play, Stuart Dew. Got the ball on the wing, just bolted forward, and one of those bullet-like drop punt passes that he's so good at. And then Marnie wins a free kick against Ben Hart.
The numbers were against Marnie.
Yeah, and he did it well. Was prepared to take the hit to get the free.
Well, he's come storming back late in the season after playing in a premiership team last year.
18 minutes in. Port Adelaide looking set for their first score.
And they need it. Onto your goal here, and they'd be very happy to be within 4 points. And Josh Marnie kicks exquisitely. Port are on the way. That's a huge result for them. They've been absolutely clobbered for half a quarter. And with that goal, they find themselves within 4 points.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you look at it?
Gee, it's a good kick, though. Spearing kick by Stuart Dew. That's a reckless tackle by Bock.
Crows by 4 points.
Josh Franco in picture. He just came on about 3 minutes ago. Already had a couple of important touches around the stoppages. Changed places with Kane Corns.
Well, he missed the premiership last year, of course, Franco, but his finals record is excellent. Balls on centre wing, gathered by Kasisi. Towards Brogan. Good skills from the big man. And in the end, Bassett takes him over the line.
Yeah, showing us his basketball skills there.
Took him out.
Andrew McLeod in picture, playing on the wing. Dominic Kasisi, number 25, his direct opponent. As you can see, Kasisi has one thing in mind, that is to block the run of McLeod.
Doughty. Handball missed the target. Edwards. His handball also misses. Mopped up by Johncock. 3 missed handball targets by the Crows. They're the team under pressure now as Clark gets tackled. And we'll have a bounce.
Yeah, good play, Port Adelaide. One after the other, they put pressure on the Crows. And I reckon that handball that went to Rashudo was one that should never have gone his way just because the skipper was there. You don't have to give it.
Port settling, finding the tempo of the match. Matner gives Adelaide plenty of territory, but not the ball. Kane Corns to Wakeland. Franco. That wasn't good. It wasn't all bad. It landed just inside the line.
Kane Corns just coming on, and you'd have to think that's a free kick.
And the umpire had a pretty good view of it.
Well, it looked like a whack in the head to Clark to me.
So it's Adelaide by 4 points, but Port in their attacking half. Boy, if they kick the next goal...
Gee, that's a free kick to
Port.
Port.
He was held. Tawney comes away with the footy. Edwards. Pearce beats him. Well done by the youngster, unfazed by the fact that he didn't get the umpire's nod a moment ago. Now Walsh has Port load again. They're running for him. Montgomery. And Port just starting to look as though they're finding some touch. Bishop, Chaplin, the youngster who's made such a good fist of it down the back. Bishop now. Pettigrew caught behind Hart. Had to go the spoil. Rutten again controlling it. Marnie, though, finding the footy. Cassisi, Pettigrew. Can he put Port in front? Yes, he can. No, he can't. Yes, he can.
Well, he's very matter-of-fact, wasn't he? No emotion at all when he nailed that.
No, he's done it well. He's given him a bit of life up in that forward line as Michael Pettigrew.
His body language suggested that he missed it, didn't he?
He's athletic. He's wiry. He can play in the back half. He can go forward. I like the look of him. Now, have a look at that for a hold. And Mark Rashudo with just the 3 disposals, 22 minutes into this first quarter.
Burgoyne. Peter. Over to Walsh. Another Peter. As the Crows work it back, the Power work it back inside 50. Wanganeen, the rubber man, turns around and has a ping, but it's partially smothered. Talking about bouncing off, he might have another crack here. He does to Corns from an impossible angle. He squares it up. Edwards can't mark. McLeod knocks up, great tackle, shrugs it from Cassisi. McLeod doesn't panic. Gets onto the left and goes to Clark. Still deep inside defensive 50. To half-back, to Bassett. Now it's the Crows' turn to attack. Rashuto sweeps the handball to McGregor. To half-forward, it's a good kick. Henschel just can't quite take the diving mark.
It's an exciting game. Both teams in their defences are prepared to have fast breaks. And Goodwin in the back pocket. That is so risky to bring the ball back into play. They got away with it, but they were lucky.
They had a man named McLeod down there. He has cooled. It's a game at both ends of the ground now. No takeaway.
Thanks, guys.
Brett Allen will bounce it again. Port with 2 straight. 2 shots to 5.
Thanks, guys.
Starting to dominate the clearances.
Down, both of you. Arms down.
Blade and Clark, a couple of veterans. And they couldn't get near the footy.
6 clearances in a row, Port Adelaide.
Due to Peter Burgoyne. Goes for some loft here. Wanganeen charging at it, just couldn't get to the drop. Cassisi mown down in the back.
Has to be.
Doughty the offender.
Easy.
Cassisi just looking for
Easy. In the back.
Wanganeen settled in the forward pocket for Port Adelaide at the moment. Started on the wing.
No input from Treadray yet. Port are having to find other ways. Peter Burgoyne is one of them. Here's Treadray. Oh, he should have hung on to that. Still a chance. Marnie just couldn't find the way out of there. Clark goes for the line.
I think the kick originally was meant for Marnie, but he was happy to just stand there and watch Treadray come from the side. Just mistimed the jump, so lucky let off there for the Crows. Clear. This is Bassett. To the wing, to Edwards.
Just see a stream of players running through the middle of the ground.
Good hard running by Matner.
Both teams flooding heavily.
Handballs off to Goodwin, who can load up from 50, and Goodwin has kicked a magnificent goal. That is beautiful running football from the Adelaide Crows.
Well, we're getting plenty of run and dash from both teams. Courageous Mark running with the flight. Martin Matner backs himself to play on. Goodwin just straightens up on that left boot, and that is a lovely kick on the run.
He's the right man to have running past. Explosive left foot. The Crows are back in front. They deserve to be there. They've had much the better of it.
Treadray at centre bounces, getting down there in the goal square. I reckon that's a good ploy, because if they can get a fast break, Port Adelaide, it's a long kick straight to the big fella.
Skipworth gives Adelaide the clearance. Edwards and Sean Burgoyne. Edwards, great turn of speed. Distance just beyond him here. Welsh got it. Been paid.
Thought he had it. Then I thought perhaps it was spoiled, but what about the pace of Tyson Edwards? Push off, just enough to keep Bishop away. Tyson Edwards, just sensational speed to burn off his direct opponent and to put that in the goal square.
Had a clean grasp of the ball, and umpire Allen responded to that quite correctly. And Welsh to give Adelaide a little cushion again. Kicks their third. It's the Crows by 9 points.
Tyson Edwards, his 7th disposal, and it was a beauty.
Just turned it inside out, didn't he?
He did. He's built low to the ground, Tyson Edwards. And just use those strong legs to accelerate and twist and straighten up. Distinct height advantage there with Matthew Bishop on Welsh. So Welsh will need to use his body, need to use his leading abilities. Doesn't want to be caught under the ball.
Brogan in the middle. Fresh air.
Let him go now, it's out to him. Let him up, let him up.
Every time the Crows get a goal or two up, Chad Corns goes down to the back line, and he's that spare man in defence. Pretty good man to have there, because he can mark it, reads it exceptionally well, and he's quick.
Brogan thumped it forward. Cassisi tackled by McLeod. Quick kick out of the pack by Burton. But resolute at half-back is Wakeland. Kicks to Walsh. There's Corns. To the wing. Treadray's worked hard.
Won't worry Neil Craig too much to see Treadray marking on the wing.
And they're short to Bishop. And another short on to Brogan. So working the ball around half forward.
That's the worry for the Crows. Brogan's opponent is Matthew Clark. Now, Clark's a good ruckman, but around the ground, he's just got to be quick and concentrate and make sure his opponent doesn't become a marking target.
All players again in one half of the ground. It's the Adelaide defensive half at the moment as the mark's taken by Bassett as the siren sounds to win the first quarter. And it's Adelaide 22 leading Port Adelaide 13, the margin 9 points.
Well, it was a good start. I would think that Mark Williams wouldn't be too disappointed that they're behind. They showed a fair bit there. They were as aggressive as the Crows. They started to get a bit of flow going, did Port Adelaide. But the last couple of goals by the Crows, and Tyson Edwards set one up. Goodwin kicked a beauty from a long way out. And 7 scoring shots to 3. That's a fair advantage after the first 30 minutes of football.
Semi-final at AAMI Stadium. The Crows lead the power by 9 points at the first break. There's some brotherly love. Second term in this semi-final. It's Adelaide leading Port Adelaide by 9 points. Clark got the first tap. Edwards again, a magnificent spin out of trouble. Got it to Goodwin, puts it to the 50. Montgomery backed himself. Bang, high tackle. Advantage paid. Burton could go on here. Handballs towards McGregor. Back to Edwards, another good handball. Over to Henschel, and Henschel has kicked a poster.
Hit the stick. And Tyson Edwards involved in a couple of quick handball plays there.
Gee, there have been some bad misses by Adelaide. They're playing well enough to have you think that they mightn't need to rue them, but if this game turns, they will.
Something you're changing your tip, Tim?
I'm just a little nervous in the early part.
Mark Williams has made a change for this second quarter. The two Burgoyne brothers playing in the forward line.
Porter playing very wide, and it's Adelaide's pressure that's forcing them out there. Nothing direct from Port Adelaide. They are a short kicking team. They lead the competition in short kicks. Lade, who started in the ruck, and Clark started for Adelaide. Kasisi finds some space, but can't break. So Port do it in fits and starts. Now Marnie, who's just about been the focus up there.
Gee, they do take it round the boundary line, Port Adelaide. And again, an example of a player going through a mark near the boundary line, and all the Crows have to do is go whack and put it over the line.
Arms are up, go in the foot.
Treadray almost totally disempowered. Brogan now in the ruck. But Shirley covers it. Gives to the veteran Hart. To another veteran, Clark. And he rode it beautifully. Shirley missing a target. McLeod covers. Covers well for Edwards.
Line.
This is where they're dangerous, Port Adelaide. Ruck contests in their forward line. They open up a bit of space, and they've got some nice systems going. Again, Franku starting on the interchange to start the quarter.
Play on.
Clark did it nicely to Goodwin. Nice shepherd by Hart. Allows Goodwin some space. Gives it to his skipper. Now over to Shirley. Chips to half forward, looking for Welsh. Strong grab in front of Bishop.
That's what he's got to do, Scotty Welsh. Be on the lead against Bishop.
He's been called to go. He pumps it along his target's Henschel, but he stays down as Perry in front flies and takes an excellent mark. He plays on, he handballs to Burton, and Burton has kicked a point.
Well,
disappointing finish from the Crows.
Well, Perry has a responsibility to go back and have a shot for goal. He's taken the pack mark. Now, it's a risky thing to do to play on because marks inside your forward 50 are worth their weight in gold. That was the Adelaide Crows' 7th mark inside their forward 50, and Port Adelaide yet to take one. And one of the reasons for that is because they keep taking it to the boundary line.
All 6 of Adelaide's behinds have been eminently kickable. They could have 9 straight. And this semi-final could be all but over. As it is, Port trail by just 11 points. Again, they're having to play short and wide.
9 touches to Chad Corns, but most of them in the defensive half.
Decides long is the option. Treadray, 2 against him, can't do any business. Adelaide looking very good. Rasciuto hoping for McLeod. Not getting him yet. There's a holding the ball.
Their run and share by hand with the Crows has been very, very good.
Pick it up and give it to him. Now.
Again, with this delay in play,
Stay out.
Port Adelaide have got a massive flood on.
McLeod short to Goodwin. He goes on. He's run down. He's led. Now, I tell you what, that wasn't dissimilar to Adam Pitts last week.
The tackle slipped down. You're unlucky, but the tackle slipped down.
Exactly. That's what happened last week. That is an absolute carbon copy of what happened last week. In fact, probably less so.
Adam Goods.
Was it the low tackle that brought him down, or was it? Yeah, it was in the end.
Jeez, they're keen to play on, aren't they?
So Goodwin, who is a thumping kick.
Have a look at the size of him, and that's the size of the modern-day midfielder. Shoulders, biceps, strong hips, legs.
He's got one. He'll be kicking from right on 50. The angle is slight.
17 early in the piece in this second quarter.
And the free kick, a measure of Port Adelaide's problems, their desperation to try and hold Adelaide in check. Problems for Mark Williams. The margin is 17. Port are struggling.
He's taken a couple of tall players off. This is interesting. He's moved Chad Corns to full forward. He took Lade off, and he also took Pettigrew off. Little Pearce is on.
The way this game's being played, that's taking Chad Corns out of the game. Edwards for McLeod. Cassisi on his hammer. Bad bounce for the champion Crow. Support from Goodwin. Now is the throw. Got the hand under the ball. The idea was right. The execution just not quite so. Cassisi to Treadray. Again, he's had to cover the wing.
Yeah, he's got Chad Corns at full forward. You see frustration on his face.
And again, it's just a dabby pass. Free kick to Brogan.
They'll try to exploit Matthew Clark in the ruck with Brogan, so that Brogan becomes a mobile, moving player in the middle, a marking target.
Brogan switches it into the corridor, but there's nothing on offer down the ground. Wakeland to Chaplin. Now Sean Burgoyne.
Thanks, Scott.
He and his brother capable of scything runs. Sean outstanding. Shared the showdown medal in round 20 with Simon Goodwin. Back to Wakeland. Port hopelessly bogged down at the moment.
Well, they're just playing possession football. They cannot get a fast break. There they go to Brogan again. That's the plan. Use Brogan when Clark's on him.
And there's not a crummer inside. McGregor turns it over. Terrible. Montgomery, but the Adelaide pressure is magnificent. Shirley, McGregor, now Burton, and the Crows are in full cry.
And the Birdman's away. Couple of bounces. Advantage paid. Edwards, handball smothered.
Advantage.
That should be play on because it was a poor handball. That should be play on. He gave him an opportunity. He mucked up the handball. Bad luck.
Brett Burton. Brett, your kick.
Matthew Clark
Brett, your kick.
taken from the field. Bigland's
Brett Burton,
on.
your kick was held after
And
his
Bigland has sprinted to the goal square for the Crows.
Thanks, Brett. Kane, back here. Thanks, Kane. Hold it. Mark's here. Thank you.
Lucky break here for the Crows. Burton has possession. He's off. He's run off his mark. Reminds me of the old Gary Carlton sometimes. Does Burton? There's some unpredictable things.
Crazy horse.
Yep. Ball kick to the wing. Treadray. Here's an opportunity for the power. There's no one inside 50. Pearce runs hard. John Cott snaps at the heels. Pearce paddles. Good control. But numbers win out in the end as Bassett gets it. John Cott, bang! Big tackle by Byron Pickett. Play on, says the umpire. Pearce has another crack. Great tackle by Hart. The game's lifted a notch now. There's power over in a spot above it. And it's a push in the back. Goal to Peter Burgoyne.
Gee, it was intense, wasn't it? Great tackling by players on both sides.
You're right.
It might be what Port needed. It's as though they haven't quite realised what level of intensity is required. So Peter Burgoyne's ball.
Scott is Stuart Dew, the best kick in the team.
He's taken him further away from goal. This is well beyond range. So he gets to Sean Burgoyne. Still beyond range, one would think.
Well, they're just hard to get a mark in. That's what they're trying to do, is get a mark inside the forward 50. Now Sean Burgoyne might be forced to have a shot.
Well, their attack is taking on the look of a one-trick pony. Treadray 65 goals, Lade next best with 24. Treadray's been counted, and there don't seem to be too many alternatives. Sean Burgoyne's in desperation going to have a go by the look of it. He'll kick it from outside 55, closer to 60. Got the distance comfortably, but they needed a better result.
You can see Risciuto's at full forward. Kane Corns has gone down onto him. He's uncomfortable. He's been screaming out to the runner, saying, hey, I don't want to be here. Get someone back. And Wilson is the man who's replaced him.
John Cott. Short to Hart, who's run himself in and out of trouble. That's a solid mark taken by Goodwin. To Shirley, who gets bowled over.
Advantage!
Advantage paid. Edwards. Disposal number 12. Over to Biglands. Pumps it long inside 50. Corns against Rashuto. Chaplin at the back of the pack. Oh, the handball has just come off to Montgomery. To Wanganeen. To half-back and Treadray.
Again, he's marking in the defensive half.
Here's Pickett. Can he set them alight? Did well.
Gee, that was good play by Byron Pickett.
Daniel Pearce, who's giving them some spark up forward. Lots of endeavour and a ton of skill about the 19-year-old.
Have a look at the handball stats for the game. 32 to 34, Port Adelaide 62 to the Crows. And it just shows the domination in this quarter in particular, 25 to 2. And Port Adelaide, from this move forward, was the first time they've been able to get a couple of handballs going in their back half.
In his 7th game, has 5 goals thus far, has a behind here. The margin 15 points.
And Andy Maher at boundary level, a couple of quick interchanges by Port.
It's what they do, Wolsey. They obviously have these multiple changes scheduled and the players are right on the same page. They did it in the first quarter, they're doing it again in the second.
John Cock has the football.
It's going Graham! Paul!
Panic, and his kick's good, finds Bassett. Now Edwards provides an option.
Yes!
Kicked half back, Walsh is there. There was a high attempt to spoil, and the free kick's going to Nathan Bott. Crows by 15. Near the halfway mark of the second term of this semi-final. Bott to the wing. The big fly, and the nice mark taken by Henschel.
Thanks, mate.
Well, with Henschel in their forward line, they've got 4 good marking targets. There's Welsh, Henschel, Perry and McGregor.
And speaking of marking targets, this man's not bad either. Burton decides to go into the pocket, looking for Welsh. Bishop's there. Did he hack the arms? No, said the umpire. Rashuto attacks it. What do you think?
It was probably a good call. Well, there's a bit of contact with the arm, but looked like a legitimate spoiling attempt. Now, Port down the corridor this time. Corns to Dew, but nothing on. To the other Corns. Corns the senior. Now Walsh.
Back to Ben! Right there!
The good news for Port is that the margin is still just 15 points. They haven't lost touch, largely due to Adelaide's wayward kicking.
You see Chad Corns in picture. He's run 100 metres to get there. A fine athlete that he is.
The breeze has really picked up down here. It's pushing towards Port Adelaide's end, so they may have a bit of an advantage in this term.
Thanks, Christy, and it could be telling over the next 10 minutes or so. Walsh, all tied up. Adelaide's pressure has been exemplary.
Had the ball went to ground. Thanks, Brett.
They'd won 10 straight before last week's setback. They are playing very good football, and at the moment, they have the answers against their crosstown rival. Edwards puts them forward to the centre again, but to the line.
Game high 14 disposals for Tyson Edwards.
And Robert Shirley, you can see with 12 disposals, Shirley is playing on Peter Burgoyne. Peter Burgoyne not giving him all that much respect once the Crows get the footy.
All over it, Brett. Sorry. Mark's there, guys. Play on.
Free kick to Brogan. Off to Dew. Again, not a lot on offer. It's getting very messy for Port Adelaide. Forced to give it to Montgomery. Just scrubs the kick. Big Shepherd off the ball. And I reckon Biglands is in trouble. Byron picks it. In fact, it wasn't. It was a bomb. Now it's on here. In fact, it was. It was Biglan's, and he's been I reckon he's been picked off by Pickett. It was slightly out of my line of sight, but I think it was Byron Pickett who has cleaned up Biglan's.
Well, you must think it was a fair way off the ball because we were watching Bock.
Well, I think the umpire called it was a fair bump. Biglan's has not moved. He is out. And Byron might have claimed another one.
Biglan's doesn't look well.
And there's the bump. And it looked a fair bump from that angle.
It did.
It wasn't really off the ball, was it?
Let's have another look at it.
And that is a big bump. And
It is a big hit.
Is out cold.
Well, it looked as though Biglan's was laying a block, and Pickett didn't budge.
And it looks as if Biglan's was not aware of Byron Pickett, and that's to his disadvantage. And when you've got a player like Byron, who he'll hit you hard and fair if he can, you've just got to be aware of what's going on around you.
So the showdown could be about to explode as Byron Pickett claims another victim in AFL football. This time, we've got to say, very fairly. And this changes the game.
Well, the gauntlet thrown down to Matthew Clark.
Well, that's right. Matthew Clark is probably going to have to run most of the remainder of the game. Perhaps McGregor or Perry can give him a hand. Puts a lot of pressure on Byron Pickett now. Let's have a look at it. And there's no doubt that Biglan's wasn't expecting the hit. And I reckon Biglan should have been a little bit smarter, knowing what was around him. I think he's been hit with a fair shirt front. It's knocked the stuffing out of him, that's obvious.
Well, it was a direct contest, wasn't it? I mean, Biglan's was there trying to...
well, you've got to be aware. You've got to be aware of what's going on. And you've got to be more aware of certain players who play the game. And I don't say that in a negative fashion about Byron Pickett, but Byron will take you out if he can, and therefore you've got a responsibility to yourself to be awake.
It was in play, wasn't it? The ball had just gone away. It was slightly off our line as we were watching the football.
A lot said about Byron Pickett, but as was pointed out when he sustained that suspension earlier in the year, and Biglan's looks conscious, which is good news.
Yeah, that is good news.
He'd only previously been suspended once. It's not as though he has a string of offences. He hits often and he hits hard, but most of the time
He's
he
okay.
hits fairly.
Biglan's is okay. He's probably dirty on himself.
So is this a significant moment in Showdown 19? There it is again. Just the line of sight there blocked by Cassisi as he was running past. But his head hit the ground pretty hard too. And play resumes.
It does. And what does that do to this game?
It means that you've got to keep your eyes on the footy.
And Pickett off an exchange of hand passes. Delivers beautifully to Marnie, who can break. Now, can Port land a blow here? Pierces their chance. 2 against him. And it was well done by Burton.
Now, the big test now for every player on the ground is to keep his eyes on the ball. When it's his turn to go, he's got to go. You know it's going to be hot out there. And anyone who goes looking for a scalp, they'll be letting themselves and their team down.
Who's a beauty, Byron Pickett. He knows how to fix them up. Franco handballs into the goal square. Crows happy to concede a behind. And the dynamics change now with Biglan's number 1 ruckman off for the Adelaide Crows. He looked okay as he was being carted off, so he might be able to come back on.
The next 9 minutes is a real testing period for the Crows. You've got the experienced finalists in Port Adelaide out there.
John Cock delayed and found the right option.
And it's this time that players like Goodwin and Rashudo and Tyson Edwards and Ben Hart need to stand up.
Just one, please.
Bassett,
Just 1 metre, please.
game 151. Sturdy defender for Adelaide.
Dig it now.
Places the kick and places it a bit too strongly for Rashuto. He was very interested in the sniff coming off that exchange a couple of minutes ago.
Watch your footy, guys.
Toe-to-toe with Pickett.
Straight at it.
I wonder if Pickett was saying you're next. Chad Corns
gives Port 25 metres or so.
And Chad Corns, third man up, coming over the top of the two ruckmen. And his opponent, Bock, has to block that. He can't let Chad Corns get a free run over the back like he did then.
Just 6 goals kicked in the match so far. Brogan against Clark. And they'll do it again.
So it's about 60 out from Port Adelaide's goal. Brogan the tap. Well played, Rashudo. Tapped it over to McLeod. His first touch in 15 minutes. Bangs it to half forward. Awkward one. McGregor tried to slap it to Rutten. Off the ball. Down goes a Kane Corns against Rashudo.
Yeah, Rashudo just slammed him into the ground.
Just put Kane Corns down off the ball.
Yeah.
So here we go.
And the big brother came in.
Things starting to hot up at Amy Stadium.
Redray doing the ruck work.
That's the second time third man up's won it for Port.
Well done by Franco. Chaplin, Walsh, getting it to the veteran Wilson, and now Dew with great kicking power if he can get it onto his boot. Now Pearce. This is better for Port. Peter Burgoyne, hard and expert in those situations. Burton taking it away from the expert, which might have been dangerous, and still might be. Pearce couldn't hang on. Pickett there with him. Vulnerable here. Wrapped up by 20.
Show it in quickly, boys. Throw it in.
Byron is the lightning rod.
And again, the third man up gets the belt forward. This time, it's Treadray coming from behind. So smart play, Port Power.
Franco, good tackle by Hart. Head over the football was due. Well done.
Okay, guys.
I'll tell you what, it is starting to get very hot out there. You know, you boys, I'm starting to feel a bit like Switzerland up here.
Yeah, this is fantastic footy because everyone's being tested now.
You can just feel that the dynamics of this game have changed.
Head him against the throat. Head your head up against his throat.
17 minutes since we've had a goal. Goal's hard to come by.
So Clark gives away a free. And it's Dean Brogan. Timing can be everything in sport. If Port could kick a goal at this point in the game, it could really lift them. Here's Montgomery having to go to the spoil, though. That was a brave mark. Wasn't a mark. Wasn't paid.
It was Burton, wasn't it? I thought he marked it.
I'll tell you what, he might be out too. He might be out too, Burton.
It was a gutsy effort to go.
He's caught one in the back of the head from Montgomery.
And I think Montgomery's been reported for belting Burton a couple of times in the past.
He has.
Mind you,
They have big history.
there's a bit of history involved in that. Get up, Birdman, you're all right.
So behind, the margin 13 points.
Some players do take a dislike to each other.
Ball to the wing. Kane Corns. Rashudo and Wakeland have a bit of a tete-a-tete.
Gee, the next goal would be a real good goal to get because we've had Biglands go down, we've had Burton go down. It's a hot potato, the football. The team that can get the next goal would be worth two.
Chad Corns knocks it forward 20 metres. And another throw in.
Warren Treadray persisting to play up around the wing position. You can see where the boundary throw in is. Slightly forward of centre for Port Adelaide. And now Wanganeen is the only man in the forward 50 for Power.
Brogan to Cassisi. Now he's thrown to the ground after he got rid of the ball. Free kick against Thompson. He gave a few of those away last week. Cassisi over to Chad Corns. Into the middle. And his kick finds Montgomery.
Port have only kicked 2 goals. The last of them came 21 minutes into the first quarter. And Adelaide haven't kicked one since the 5-minute mark of this second term. Been playing in Port's front half at the moment, which is good news for the Power. Treadray with the man on the mark at about 52. And he has a target inside. And it's Sean Burgoyne.
Slack manning up by the Crows. expect the unexpected. They just presumed that Treadray would go back and have a set shot. Concentration fell. They pay the penalties.
Sean Burgoyne had a shot from outside 50, made the distance easily about 10 minutes ago. So this is well within his range. This time, he has to get it straight. If he does, the margin is just 7 points, and Port are right back in this semi-final.
Scott Thompson taken off, giving away that free kick.
And that is a delightful kick. Port are close. Until about the 10-minute mark of this quarter, they were in danger of being swamped. It would have been a pretty one-sided encounter in every sense, but on the board. Right now, the margin is 7 points. They haven't done a lot, and yet they're just over a kick out of it.
Port Adelaide whittled the margin back to just 7 points. Crows in front. And there's Rhett Biglan's KO'd by Byron Pickett. He's back, and you'd have to suggest that looking at that shot, he'll be back in action in the second half, which is good news. Rashuto couldn't control it. Little sock off the round by Chad Corns, who now lays the little block on Rashuto. That's a free kick to Kasisi. Didn't have it.
And 50 metres it should be. It should be 50 metres.
Umpire wasn't concentrating on that part of the play. He was looking at the mark.
Mark's here.
They just lost the plot a little bit. That's the second time they've continued on in the tackle. Ball was kicked away, and I reckon Port Adelaide hard done by there.
The umpire Vodson, I was just looking at the mark there, so just
Would have been big. It would have had him within 30 metres of goal.
so Kasisi.
It's going down.
He's told to go. Kicks to Brogan.
Again, using Clark's opponent. Now, Matthew Clark, you have just got to be better than that. You just have to be in front of your opponent, block his run. You cannot trail by 2 metres because they'll accelerate quicker than you.
Dean Brogan pumps it long. Big pack of players. Marnie, Wanganeen, can he weave some magic? Keeps it alive. Hard under pressure. John Cockle can see the rush behind. 1 goal the difference as we near half-time in this semi-final at AAMI Stadium.
3.5 important minutes left. John Cock takes it wide. There'll be a contest, and Wilson makes a very important spoil.
Team lifting stuff, that. The fans acknowledge it. Ran a long way to get there.
Wolsey, there's no doubt that Port has been the more switched on since that Pickett incident.
Well, a couple of terrible free kicks given away by the Crows. And again, Corns coming over the top.
Did it well. Now his brother's got it. Gives it back. If not to him, to Kasisi, who gets a high tackle. Scott McLaren stopped play when advantage might have been in Port's interest, I thought.
It's been good, Kasisi, Rob, hasn't
He has, yeah. Look,
He's had a great year again.
Well, he's played every game this year. He played every game last year. He played on Jason Ackermanis in last year's grand final. Did a pretty good job. But they've got worries in the ruck because Clark can't do it all by himself, and they're using his opponent, and they've got the third man coming over the top in ruck contest. It's happened half a dozen times in this second quarter.
Again now.
Free kicks 13-7 Port's way. That's not a great placement from Kasisi. All the numbers with Adelaide. Bassett comes away with the pickings and believes he has targets on the other side. A good one in McLeod. And Wilson can't quite go with him. And McLeod glides away. Goes for Henschel. Good hands. Just yes. Third grab. And gives it off. Skipworth. Running for him was Perry, but the kick just needed to get there a bit quicker. Chaplin able to make the spoil.
Chaplin been really good for Port in the second half of the season. He's been able to play the centre-half back position, which releases Chad Corns to do his thing in the middle.
So rare foray forward for the Crows in the last 15 minutes or so. Perry the tap. He's over the ball. Umpire lets it go. Handball comes out to Kingsley. John Cock camped underneath it and takes the mark. Goes out wide to Doughty. It's just his third disposal. Now to Rutten. He switches to the outer side and finds Hart.
Desperately trying to get a mark inside their forward 50.
Bock. He goes. He runs to 50. Forced a handball to Rashuto to Goodwin, who can unload with the big left foot. Not this time for Simon Goodwin. Throw in the forward pocket.
So it's the Crows' turn. All the ingredients have been there. Adelaide dominant for most of this first half, but Port in their best traditions, hanging in by the skin of their teeth. Here's a chance. Edwards just couldn't jam it onto the boot, and Chad Corns finds the line. The legend of South Australian football is that the old Port Adelaide Magpies win games when they're not really meant to, the big games. And they've hung in this one.
Pick it off, that's the booing.
And the cheering. You're getting a bit of both.
So Chaplin's got it. Hands it off to Kingsley. Looks for Brogan against Clark. Brogan superior in the air. And it wings out again.
They've got to start to think about, well, hopefully for the Crows, Biglands will be okay for the second half. Or perhaps McGregor does a bit of ruck work.
Walsh to Kane Corns. That's a good kick. That's an excellent kick to Marnie.
Thanks, Simon, on the 50, Simon. On the 50.
He's going to be kicking from about 54 metres out from goal.
Yeah, he should have a shot. Great pass, long pass by Kane Corns.
Keep taking him out, mate. Hasn't gone yet, hasn't gone.
And Marnie wants to pass it off.
Keep taking him out. Keep following, yes. Keep following. Still on the 50, Simon.
He's kicked 1-1 so far this evening, Josh Marnie. Up to 24 goals for the year. Great conversion rate at 80%. They have to produce his very best here. It's anything but that. And that's poor forward play by the Power. Should have had someone back on the line.
Yeah, Bassett back there by himself for ages.
Clearly, Marnie didn't think he could nail it, and they had no one there. Now Hart with just seconds left. And it doesn't look as though Adelaide will be able to manufacture anything. They're behind the centre line. It could be done if everything goes right.
Well, Bassett, one of the best marks in the game, and just needed to be opposed back there.
Lade bringing it down. Sean Burgoyne, but not getting a result from the little dab off his toe. And Matner, well tackled. It's half-time, and it has been tight and tense and fiery, and Adelaide lead this semi-final by 7 points against their arch-rival.
Well, first quarter all Adelaide, second quarter Port Adelaide really lifted. They were fantastic the way that they started to get the clearances. They had Corns coming over the top. Treadray did a bit of that, and finally started to get some run out of their back line. They were able to kick 2 goals, 5 in a low-scoring game. So 7 scoring shots for the quarter, big plus for the Power.
Half-time in the semi-final. The Crows lead the Power by 7. No one out in the streets of Adelaide tonight. They're either here at Amy or at home or at pubs and clubs watching the action on TV.
Over here a few weeks ago against the Crows, Rutten going with him.
Now Brogan climbing into Clark, and Clark takes the free kick. They might see if they can work the veteran Crow ruckman over a bit now. Chaplin climbing high, leaving them exposed at the back. Bishop closes on Perry. Kane Corns there as well. Wakeland, now Walsh. And Port, who have worked their way back into this, can try and set something up early. It's a pretty good placement. Marnie with 2 against him. Good tackle, Bassett. All Adelaide around the spilling ball. And Burton now cutting a swathe. Probing for Perry with the sit. Chaplin has a job in front of him here, and he held him. It's Perry's ball.
Well, the advantage of the long kick to Perry was that it put the Crow defender Chaplin under enormous pressure. He's got hold of the jumper for a start. He realises it's a very dangerous situation. He hangs onto the arm, and the inexperienced defender gives away the free kick.
Not even the most one-eyed of Port supporters can argue with that one, could they, Tim?
I'm sure there would be a few around who are doing that right at this moment. Perry kicks his second goal. Adelaide lead by 13. Dean Brogan arguing the toss about the ruck contest, I'd imagine.
And just good to see the confidence of Brett Burton to have a run and a bounce. Now, that was worth 70 metres, that play, because he carried it 20 and then he got the 50-metre kick in.
Crows by 13. Dean Brogan still fuming after being penalised at the opening centre bounce of the third quarter, seeking clarification from the umpire. Clark won it nicely. Shark though by Chad Corns. Ineffective kick, Franco. Got the handball out to Treadray. Now Montgomery. Little kick to the 50. Finds Kingsley. In fact, it's Cassisi.
And good to see Treadray showing agility to get in quick off the line. The new winger for Port.
Short to Burgoyne, no mark. Crows away. Thompson threw it out in the end. Franco. Handball over to Chad Corns, to Walsh. Concedes some territory, goes back to Wakeland, who can measure the kick. Decides to end the handball at Corns. To Chaplin. Caught in two minds. Over to Bishop. To Franco. Turnover. Rashuto. Oh, there's loose men everywhere here. One of them's Henschel. But Rashuto couldn't see him out of the corner of his eye, and Henschel goes crook.
And that's why he's got the torpedo. He just thought the big spiral torque and then the skid off the grass might get him 80 metres. It was an ambitious kick. But you can see Franco here goes to ground there. Good tackle by Burton. And he's got the ball in the centre of the ground, but no one to go to.
Aussie rules commentators have been criticised for using rugby expressions like kicking for touch. That's exactly what Rashuto did then. Kingsley with Chaplin. Kingsley bangs it clear. But Port being dominated again in the early part of a quarter. Clark wriggled his way clear. Did it beautifully. McLeod now. Could he finish from there? Not a bad effort. Not bad. It's better than that.
Don't worry about Andrew McLeod. What about Doc Clark? And the big fella was just terrific there under pressure to get that ball out without being penalised. He was able to free it up. And McLeod, well, bang, turbocharges, long kick.
Superb finish from the dual Norm Smith medalist Andrew McLeod. Look at this, all class.
Well, he sold the dummy perfectly. Chad Corns playing out on the wing, and Brett Burton, his new opponent. And you can see again, he's given latitude, no touch on him as he comes flying in off the line.
Crows by 19.
Josh Franco against you, Roo. You held on to Josh Franco.
So free kick against Rashuto, going to Josh Franco for an illegal hold off the ball.
Let's go, Josh.
Not a lot on offer again for Port Adelaide. Squeeze, kick to half forward, Kingsley.
In the back, put your knee
got
in his
one in the back.
Mark said, thanks, Simon.
So the Crows again take the ascendancy with two early goals in this third term. Marnie against Hart. Beautiful use of the body by the veteran.
Well, have a look where the ball's ended up. It's just about in the centre square, and it ends up wide out near the boundary line. Part of the reason for that is because the Crows got numbers back, and they didn't want to kick to a contest.
Extraordinary stat. So far in this quarter, Port 21 disposals to 7. Adelaide have kicked 2 goals. Port haven't entered their 50.
And the reason why it's only 7 to the Crows, Tim, is because they're prepared to go long down the middle. We've seen it twice with Burton and again with McLeod.
On the shoulder!
This time it's Brogan's free kick. And the gentleman Clark looks a little disappointed. Port to enter their 50 for the first time. They've conceded 2 goals. They're desperate. Chad Corns can line them up.
And you can see Bassett look back and say, well, where's his opponent? Where's Burton? Because it's certainly not Bassett's opponent.
Was once a forward. Has become a star defender. And now as an emerging midfielder.
He needs to get his possessions in the forward half, Tim. Plenty of them in the back half, as we saw at half-time.
From right on 50. Wanganeen steals a goal. And again, Port come punching off the ropes. Put into the right spot by Corns. Could have gone anywhere, and it went straight into the lap of the veteran.
And you know whose Wanganeen's opponent was? Bassett, who was standing the mark. Now, Devon Wanganeen's kicked the goal. Bassett, his opponent, standing the mark. Not Bassett's fault.
Power have made the change. Brogan off. Laid on. Goes straight into the ruck against Clark, who got the tap. Secondary bounce.
Have a look at that, Josh Franco, bottom of the pack with the ball in his hands. Good sign. Desperado.
4 disposals already this quarter to Josh Franco.
Robert Shirley, he's there again, third man over the top.
Goodwin couldn't control it. Chad Corns does, but his handball misses the target. Now Edwards. To half forward looking for Perry. Takes the mark in front of Chaplin. Wastes no time. Pumps it long. Centering kick into the corridor in front. McGregor! No mark. Not paid.
What we are seeing, the Crows, when they go forward, play it on quickly and put it into the central corridor.
Good decision.
Port Adelaide, on the other hand, prepared to take it short and wide.
A bounce. Laid. Rashuto, quick snap. It's home. Well, something out of nothing there.
Kane Corns is Rashuto's opponent. You can see the two are together there. He just gets off him by 2 metres. That's all you need to do. And the Crow skipper takes advantage.
McLeod, Wanganeen, Rashuto. Pretty useful footballers. The last 2 of them goals by stealth at either end of the ground.
And again, Treadray starting on the wing. Rutten staying with him.
Margin 19. In a low-scoring game, it's a lot. McLeod to Shirley. Rashuto steamrolling his way, but Chad Corns steals it. So does McLeod. Theft and counter-theft. Rutten to Bock. Henschel taken off it by Sean Burgoyne. Lost his footing at a crucial moment. Chaplin supports him. Just didn't have the power in the kick. And Bock cuts it off. Adelaide to build again.
Gee, they go to Rashuto every opportunity.
The general for Burton. Been good, been lively tonight. Very positive in everything he's done. Welsh has got it again and he's within range.
Smart kick by Burton. Just a little pop-up in the air. Welsh on the lead. And that's what he's got to do. Have a look at the Matthew Clark tap, if you don't mind. How good's that? Just over the back. And that is a smart kick to a player on the lead. Not much Bishop could do. They're playing the corridor. Every time they've gone forward in this quarter, the Crows, they've played the corridor.
Just 18 disposals for the quarter for Adelaide. They've entered the 56 times, and this for a 4th goal.
Welsh, a good set shooter. And that is right on line, and the Crows have their biggest lead.
Bigland's back, and disposals per goal for this quarter. Adelaide 5, Port Adelaide 28. Port Adelaide had more of the ball going wide. Adelaide down the middle. Let's see how Bigland's goes.
And their conversion rate inside 50 is not all that flash, but at the moment they're making alive the statistics, the Adelaide Crows. Walsh under the pump. Edwards, can he keep it alive? He can. Disposal number 16. Got it to Biglands, who's back. Pumps it inside 50.
Big torpedo.
And his re-entry was timed to perfection. It was like a psychological blow.
And the boos, and you can see the pointing by the Crow supporters. That's because Byron Pickett's left the field.
That was Mark Rashudo's punt. They like that last goal.
And the Crow supporters don't like Byron.
Thompson to Rutten. And the All-Australian fullback can go back and kick a goal.
And that's because his opponent, Treadray, is playing wing and playing defensive wing. Rutten's going with him. Now, when they played over here 3 or 4 weeks ago, Treadray went to the wing. Rutten stayed on him for about 10 minutes and then went into the back line. It looks as if Neil Craig's decided to let Rutten go with Treadray no matter where he goes on the field.
Ben Rutten has not kicked a goal this season. He's kicked 3 in his 35 games.
Wasn't forward as a junior.
And all of a sudden, the Adelaide Crows have taken a stranglehold in this semi-final. And I tell you what, they look the likely winners now, but there's still a long way to go in this contest.
And the Port runner has gone out to Treadray and told him to go back to full forward. Rutten, of course, will stick with him. Rutten in his first game of AFL kicked 3 goals, so he does know how to kick a goal.
With his first 3 kicks.
And tonight, he's outscored his opponent, Warren Treadray. And that just about says it all. Pearce to Peter Burgoyne. Can Port find something? They're in desperate trouble now. And Rutten stands in their path again. He is a wonderful young player.
He's the Rock of Gibraltar. Have a look at the size of him.
11 games before this season, and he's the 2005 All-Australian fullback. And this fellow who came through the junior ranks with him is not bad either, Nathan Bock. And Bassett helps make up a pretty complete defence.
While they're on top, and the Crows are on top, they've got to make full use of this because the power will come back.
Well, they're 5 goals plus behind. And in 2.5 quarters, they've only kicked 4 goals. They've got a lot to do. Edwards goes for Burton, who has to go the spoil. Roving in as Welsh. The delivery not so good. Chaplin will get a free kick.
Play on!
And Port will try and rebound quickly.
Kane Corns. To Burgoyne, not sure what to do with it. Here's Peter Burgoyne, got it back to Kane Corns, into the middle, finds Pearce. Rashudo landed heavily in the forward pocket. He's okay. Take more than that to bowl him over. Treadray. Sold the dummy. Now puts it into the pocket, looking for Brogan, caught behind Biglands. Still alive, Brogan. Taken over the line by Hart. Past the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. Here's the Rashudo, landed heavily right on the schnoz. He's had worse than that in his life.
Port Adelaide dangerous boundary throw-ins.
Can't make anything of it here. Tawney, Goodwin, Shirley. Easy takeaway for the Crows. Perfect delivery to Perry.
Let's see if they go long.
He goes quickly to Shirley, who had given the ball to him and delivers to Welsh. Chad Corns, Shirley for a third play. Pushed in the back. His ball. What a great work rate from Robert Shirley. Now Rasciuto into the hot spot. And Tyson Edwards from just outside 50.
Well, he's getting plenty of advice from Ben Hart. And I reckon he might just fancy his chances from here.
Playing game number 220 is Edwards. He's had plenty against him, predominantly Peter Walsh. And as ever, he's been very competitive against the ball. For a 37-point lead, and it carries home. And the Crows are just about home. The wheels are off for Port Adelaide. The Crows have kicked 6 goals to 1 in a bit over half a quarter. Is there any catching them?
$50,521 people here tonight for the semi-final, the second biggest crowd ever at Amy's Stadium.
And Mark Williams shoring up his defence. Chad Corns no longer a midfielder. He's gone to centre-half back on Henschel.
Kick out of the middle by Brogan. John Cock backed himself. Bassett mops up, kicks the big spiral to half forward. Bishop couldn't take the mark. Front and centre was Tawney. Dishes to Goodwin, who goes to Welsh.
Burton
Kicks to the lead of Rasciuto. Keeps the ball alive. Well won by Henschel. Twists and turns, has a pot shot and didn't miss by that much. It's all Adelaide.
They lead by 38 points. Port kicked 26 goals last Sunday at Telstra Dome against the Kangaroos. Tonight they have 4.
Chad Corns is coming off, which is unbelievable. Andy Marr, any reason why?
He doesn't appear to be injured, Wolsey. There's no medical assistance at this stage. He's having a word to the physio right now, though.
Actually, Rob, I saw him behind play. He was actually stretching the groins or the hamstrings or something like that, so he was under a bit of duress.
Well, have a look at this. Usually they go for a walk along the boundary line, so I would say he's got a problem.
Andrew McLeod and Brett Montgomery, little willing. Peter Burgoyne not able to take it with him. Biglan's right in the heart of the fray. Burton well supported by Thompson, and now Edwards, and the Crows are building again. Henschel with Pettigrew. Pettigrew with a nicely timed edge out. Wanganeen has it taken from him by a younger, fresher man in Welsh, and Rasciuto is on the end of it and will line them up. No, he won't. He'll give it off, and he'll give it beautifully to Goodwin.
Well, Rasciuto's gone forward the last 3 or 4 minutes. Sean Burgoyne's been his opponent, and that just shows the value of Rasciuto. Gun midfielder, we know that, all-Australian midfielder, but he can go forward and be a dominant forward as well. In fact, he could play full forward, such as his strength and leading ability, and unselfishly gives off to his good mate Simon Goodwin.
Corns ready to come back on. Wolsey came off, got both legs rubbed and ready to return.
Okay. Goodwin has 2. The Crows have kicked 6 for the quarter. Now it's 7. They are tearing Port apart. This is not what we expected. And even at half-time, we're caught within 7 points, having had the better of the latter stages of the half. Adelaide have come out re-energised, and they've just about put it beyond doubt.
Now, Chad Corns, you can see this is a minute or two ago, holding onto the right hamstring, takes himself off for a couple of minutes. They check him out, then he comes on. Now, this is amazing. That is the Port Adelaide forward line. Mark Williams, he has given up at the moment on scoring. He's conceded to the Adelaide Crows. All he is in now is damage control because he's got all of his players in the back half. If Port Adelaide get it and go forward, there's no one to go to.
How are they going to win the game?
Can't.
Thanks, guys.
Wolsey, that is extraordinary stuff.
It is a centre bounce, and they didn't have a player in their forward line. Only coach who I knew ever known to do that before was Tony Shaw at Collingwood.
Free kick to Thompson.
Easy, Brent. You got him high. Back and leader. Play on.
Gives it off to Hart, who didn't have an opponent, so he's run to half back. He goes to half forward and finds John Cock.
Well, John Cock has been playing in defence, but his opponent goes up the other end of the ground, so he follows him. At the moment, the Crows have got 14 forwards and 4 midfielders.
Is there a white flag rammed into the ground in that half of the oval?
There is at the moment, Tim. That is extraordinary. I don't like it.
Graham Johncock. Probably just a little too far out to score. He'll be kicking from about 56 or 57 metres. Makes a good fist of it. Right on the line. McGregor! Hit the post. The posts.
He did put it through, McGregor, but hit the stick first.
Yes, just came off there. Good call. Good goal umpiring. 45 points is the extent of Adelaide's domination. Bishop goes to Treadway, who's come to the half-back flank, and the Adelaide fans love it. Kingsley now.
Well, they're just going to try to play keepings off, I would think, Port Adelaide. Got no one in their front half, so they'll just do this little chip stuff.
Burton flying with the birds. Right now, there are vultures hovering above some Port Adelaide entrails as Burton thumps long. Welsh and McGregor the targets. That's a fine mark in defence.
Let him up.
Darryl Wakeland
Play on.
judged it beautifully. We're in the last 4 minutes or so of the quarter. Port have got to try and pull a couple of goals back. Pettigrew puts that out on the full. The only excuse one can find for him is that he mistook a photographer for a teammate. Bassett.
I reckon it's important that the Crows don't fall into the habit of just chipping it around themselves. They've got all the play, they've got the goals. Go for broke. See if they can get a couple more goals, because the opposition, they are under siege. They've waved the white flag.
John Cox got it again. Just chips it sideways to Hart.
Hasn't gone. Hasn't gone. Right there, Josh. Play on now.
Hart. He might still find a teammate. Kicks it inside 50 to Clark. Good strong play by Cassisi.
Tyson Edwards tackle, super.
For Brogan, there's McGregor. He's wrapped up by Brogan. Will have a bounce. 45 out from the Crows' goal. In this term, Adelaide have kicked 7 goals to the Powers 1.
That's the Port Adelaide forward line. And Nathan Bassett is saying, well, hope it does come near me because I haven't got an opponent to beat.
Robert, how would the Port players feel about their coach asking them to play like this, to flood like this?
Oh, well, it's desperate measures shown by Mark Williams, and if I was a player, I'd hate it.
Robert Shirley kicks another. The showdown is not giving a whimper, let alone a bang. Adelaide by 51 points.
And what great ruck work by Matthew Clark.
Even blokes with names like Shirley are kicking goals against Port Adelaide at the moment.
Well, if the ball goes forward, it's Chad Corns against 3.
This is turning into a showdown shellacking. 51 points. And here come the Crows again. Goodwin to Bock to Rashuto. He bangs it long. It's a beautiful kick. Henschel from the side, couldn't mark. Back of the pack. Handball comes to Perry. Intercepted by Treadrate, and he finds Wanganeen at half-back. Adelaide on its way to a preliminary final against the West Coast Eagles at Subiaco Oval next Saturday afternoon. I think that's a pretty safe bet now.
Yes, I'm getting a little nervous about my selection right now, Quarters.
Because the other match will be between St Kilda and Sydney at the MCG on Friday night.
Well, let's say that they've still got this lead halfway through the last quarter. What Neil Craig can do is then just take it easy with his stars, and you'd expect, well, Rashuto probably stay out there because he missed last week, but he might rest McLeod.
50 as well, you kick the ball away. Let's go. All over his shoulder, kick the ball away.
Is that against Clark, who actually seemed to get a good tap? There's plenty of contact in there, as there invariably is, but it was a bit stiff. Lovely piece of ruck work in every other sense.
Oh, he's just dominated the hit-outs this quarter, Tim.
Showing all the tricks.
Yeah, you're right.
But now it's Brogan with the man on the mark at 50. Port have had a lonely one-scoring shot for the quarter. That was Gavin Wanganeen's goal when a ball fell off a pack into his lap.
Well, they've given it to the man with the big boot.
Probably is further out.
Might even be too far for Stuart Dew to kick a goal. Although, I'd like to see him have a crack at it.
Man on the mark, almost 60 out. He's on the edge of the square. Spearing ball, too strong. Corns 3 against him. Skipworth to Bock. Nothing there for Adelaide. Pettigrew dropping a sitter. And John Cock comes away with it. Edwards inside. Sean Burgoyne. Missing Pearce. Bishop. Backs have gone forward now. Walsh. Cassisi, Sean Burgoyne, now Pearce. Not a bad effort. Just wouldn't carry home. And away go the Crows with Welsh down in the back half.
Crows haven't got much in their forward line either. Goodwin on a fast break.
Nice kick by Welsh. Goodwin's got to wait for it to bounce. Chaplin comes onto the scene. Strong by Goodwin. Starts the body. Matner forces it over the line. The best quarter this year, Adelaide, was 8 goals 3 in round 13 against the Tigers. In this term, they've kicked 8 goals 2.
Inside 50s, as we just saw, 16-5 this term.
Clark the tap. Rove by Franco. He's going nowhere.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Josh. Good on you, mate. Straight back to line, guys.
Rashuto dropped out of this pack, gone forward. Wanganeen going with him.
Clark again. Beautifully done to Skipworth. To the 50, Rashuto.
Smart play. He dropped out of the contest, and really, there wasn't a Port Adelaide player that wanted to take responsibility for him. Wanganeen half-heartedly went after Mark Rashuto, and there's just not much spirit in that Port team at the moment.
Well, Mark Rashuto is going to have a crack here. He's kicked 1.
Bring the house down on the siren, won't it? A 9th goal for the quarter.
All-Australian this year for the 8th time. Extraordinary record. He's done everything. Neil Craig comes down for 3/4 time.
He's just got to keep a lid on it, doesn't he?
Don't give it away now, yeah? Don't do anything silly.
So Rashuto.
Can still be a free kick, Daryl, okay?
At the moment, the Crows lead by 51.
Footy
That's out in the full. But at three-quarter time, it's a 51-point lead to the Adelaide Crows. They are on their way to the preliminary final to take on West Coast at Subiaco. 12-9 plays 4-6.
Well, just a marvellous quarter of football. What I liked about it, Quarters, was that the Crows went long and direct. They were prepared to give it to a contest situation up forward. They put pressure on the Port Adelaide defence. And what we saw with this team, with about 10 minutes to go in the quarter, they just about gave up because they said, well, let's not worry about scoring. Try to stop the Crows. That didn't work either. And Mark Williams, his team's done him proud over the last 6 or 8 weeks, but gee, they were terrible in that third term.
Stevie knows that nobody's going to bring me down.
Both teams are.
51-point leaders as we turn for home, and the reigning title holders 2005 campaign would seem to be at an end. Scott McLaren lets it go for a while, but eventually he can go on no longer.
A few fracas developing in the crowd too, Tim, you've noticed?
Yes, the disappointment showing, and down below us, 2 or 3 ejected during three-quarter time. Put up quite a fight too before they went. Robert Shirley in a bit of bother there. He's not too well.
Straight up, get him up. Play on.
Rashuto had a tremendous third quarter. Clark was pretty good too. Sean Burgoyne helping it to Walsh, but there's Clark getting at the base of packs now. Thompson trying to squeeze it to Rashuto. It was like an angry bull trying to barge his way out of there. But Hardy's pretty happy with the
Robert Shirley, this is how Shirley got hurt. Absolutely slam dunk.
Head hitting the ground hard.
Trying to get him off, but he doesn't want to get off. He's got the jelly legs, though. He really has got the jelly legs. As the old Ray Jordan used to say, you got to get the boy off.
Did a good job, Robert Shirley, tonight. For a lot of the game, he was on Peter Burgoyne. Had control.
So Shirley sits down for a break. Sean Burgoyne loses a handle on it.
Well, at least Port Adelaide have got a forward structure in place. They didn't in that third term.
Clark. One in the end though by Lady, coughed it straight up to Thompson. Handball to Rashuto, didn't quite make it. Laid to Jew. He's coughed it straight up. Edwards to Tawney. Oh, put his body on the line. Well done, Jason Tawney. Head over the football. Fortunately, he's escaped unscathed.
Well, full credit to players from both teams in this first 90 seconds. They've had a real go at throwing themselves in.
Lane in there also.
Matty, look at the ball. Face the ball.
There's Robert Shirley. He looks as if he'll be okay.
Clark. Well fed to Edwards. Rashuto for right on 50. Has a snap. It's across the face. Oh, it's a beauty. Taken by McGregor. Wonderful mark. One-on-one contest. And McGregor has outmarked Wakeland and will kick a goal from point blank.
Well, the Crows were just desperate to get a kick. They've had a series of about 12 handballs, and Port's been able to pressure them into error. Finally, it freed up, and Rashuto able to bang it long, and that's been the big difference in this game since half-time. The Crows are prepared to kick long. Port Adelaide still fiddle with the short kick.
The margin. Great one-on-one contest. And a beautiful mark taken by Ken McGregor, who kicks his first goal of the night. Mark Rashuto liked it. And half the crowd did too.
Chad Corns He's gone to full forward. He's had 19 disposals for the Power, their highest possession getter. But he's been, as we saw at half-time, he had 90% of his disposals in the back half. I'm sure he's got a bit of a hamstring strain, so he's gone out of the action.
You ran straight past the ball!
Against
because
Adelaide.
everyone stopped. You ran past the flight of the ball.
Clark's ball. 9-2 to 1 goal since half-time. What a beautiful delivery that was from Matthew Clark. He's on fire. The man is unstoppable. Tawney, who's been good coming back into the team. Henschel and McGregor. Henschel! Oh, that was a tremendous effort. He was never going to get to the drop of that, and somehow he stole front position and clung on.
And there's the kick by Doc Clark. Out to Jason Tawney, the former Tiger. And one of the strengths, look, he's had his jumper held there, McGregor. One of the strengths of their forward line is that they really haven't got any champions amongst their taller players, but there's 4 of them, Henschel included, who are more than competent and can take their turn.
Good blue-collar stuff. Meant to be the other way around, you know.
Yeah.
Trent Henschel, goalless tonight, has been a goal-scoring contributor this year. It's 10 to 1 since quarter time. Some showdown after half-time. Port didn't show up. Whose mark was that? McGregor had a reasonable share on it.
Pay the man in front, Tim.
Well, few of the Power fans have seen enough. They're on their way home.
And I reckon they're getting abused by their fellow supporters for giving up early.
And Adelaide are on their way to a preliminary final to take on West Coast over at Subiaco. Well, showdowns become showtime stuff now for Adelaide as they just toy with their opponents. Thompson pumps it inside 50, whistle. It's going Port Adelaide's way. Free kick to be taken by Montgomery. To Kingsley, short to half-back. This is disposal number 20 for Chad Corns. And it's a free kick to Stuart Dew. Kane Corns averaging 25 disposals a game this year. Just got the 14 in this match, Rob. So he's been well down, and so is this man. He's got a bit of the footy, but he's had it very wide and a long way from goals. It's a free kick to Kane Corns. So jump time started already.
Yeah, they kick it wide.
No, it's a poor kick.
Been good, Tawney, coming back into the team after 6 weeks out.
Prosciutto, every kick loaded. Length, if not placement. And the Crows fans are lapping it up. Biggest ever margin in a showdown, 74 points. Adelaide in 1998, the winners there. They lead by 63 right now. And they've set a new high water mark.
And the Crows team have never had 3 wins in a row against Port Adelaide. Something that they'll achieve tonight.
Never won every game in one season. Port might claim a first-round Wizard Cup match when it's all done and dusted, which it is just about done now. The rain hasn't come, but it's not warm. And in fact, if you're a Port fan, there's an awful chill about the air. Prosciutto again. Brilliant second half. Doughty probes into the 50. Wakelin edges out McGregor. Bishop to mop it up. Montgomery. Walsh. Wanganeen. Game 299. He won't reach 300 this year. Dew. Lovely weight on that kick for Daniel Pearce, who could run in here and have a go at them from inside 50. Lovely kick if it's got the carry. Has it. Yes, it has. Port
second goal since half-time.
And Simon Goodwin, who's been so strong in close, wins it out to Rashudo. Strong bodies. And good to see Daniel Pearce get a goal.
Here's a statistic for you, Robert Walls. Warren Treadray has not had a possession inside attacking 50. The last time that happened for him in a match was back in 2000.
Yeah, well, I just don't like the way he's been used tonight. It's just made it so easy for the Crows. He's virtually played as a winger more than a power forward. That's what he made his name as. Rutten would have been delighted to see him out wide for most of the night.
See how that move started, Rob? Just another beautiful bit of ruck work from Matthew Clark. Have a look at this.
He's the best in the business, Tim. I've been saying that for 12 years. Just got to get him to take some marks.
Thompson stripped of the ball. Wanganeen to Chad Corns. Unloaded. Here's Clark again to McLeod. Stabs the pass to Welsh, who can go back and have a shot.
Interesting situation we're going to have after this game. And there's Matty Clark again, getting the handball out. After this week, there are 4 teams left. They're all coached by coaches. Grant Thomas, John Worsfold, Paul Roos and Neil Craig. None of them have coached in a grand final. 2 of them will.
Got any tips? Welsh from 45 has kicked a goal. That's his third.
Well, that's been the story of the night. Port under siege. Adelaide applying relentless pressure.
Andy, what's happening with the Adelaide bench?
Oh, they're pretty static down here, Wallsy. They're just rolling them off, and there's no urgency about any of the stuff they're doing down here at the moment.
Let's watch Matthew Clark here. Turns 32 tomorrow week, the day after a preliminary final. Wonder how he'd be feeling. McLeod, long bomb. Rashudo, the only one to keep his feet. Welsh there to lay the shepherd. Gives his skipper a shot at it, or a little dab. And Doughty can line them up. Clark is coming off. Bigland's back for the Crows. Well, that was just a little too cute. Brogan, Kingsley, Kane Corns. A takeaway, but not sustained. Here go the Crows again. Thompson to Tawney. Long ball. Rashudo just couldn't get it onto the boot. Wakeland, still a chance. Henschel to conjure a bit of Nick Davis magic. Not this time.
And notice, Robert, once again, the top 4 teams at the end of the home and away season are through to the preliminary finals.
Yes, it's something that happens very regularly. Well done, Rashudo. Duty of care. Could have continued on with the kick. Didn't.
Most important.
Bishop goes up the guts. We haven't seen that a lot from Port Adelaide tonight. Biglands to Matner. He goes short to Henschel as Pickett comes on again for the power. So Trent Henschel will line up on a 45-degree angle, 50 metres exactly from home.
Last 35 minutes of play, disposals 95 to 61. Inside 50s, 18 to 6. Clearances, that's amazing. That is amazing, 16 to 4. And that's something that the Power pride themselves on. Clearances from stoppages, they've just fallen completely away.
Trent Henschel has kicked one in this quarter. from the side, Burton. Oh, we've got a mile. And the Power concede a rush behind. Near the halfway mark of the last quarter. 50,521 tonight at Amy. It's the second biggest crowd ever. Only surpassed by the 51,140 back in the showdown in round 5, 2003.
Port breakaway this time. Sean Burgoyne could just about go all the way. Got an open 50 to work with. Gives Dew a chance. Well tied up. Nathan Bock. He's a very good defender too. In what, not many weeks ago, was an unsung Adelaide defence. Perry down the back to Goodwin. And the Crows come away again. Matlin a Rutten. What a performance it's been from the young All-Australian. Chad Corns. Bit of a hospital ball for Montgomery. Skipworth, the smallest out there, brings him down.
Tyson Edwards off.
Henschel at the bottom of all that as Corns starts to lose his cool. He's just given away a cheap free kick. And Jason Tawley lets him know all about it.
He was inviting him to the Ramsgate for a drink afterwards.
Free kicks, Port 20, Adelaide 14. Thompson loads up.
Just for Scott Thompson, who's had a very good season, it's been a good second half in this game. Didn't do much in last week's final. Didn't do much in the first half of this game. Has got himself involved in the second half, and that's a good sign for a young player. And that'll set him up for next week when they go across to Subiaco to take on the Eagles.
Port Adelaide, 5 goals, 6 in 3.5 quarters of football. A showdown shutdown. Another brilliant defensive effort from Adelaide. And their attack hasn't been bad in the second half either.
They're only conceding, Tim, 69 points a game this year, which is the best from any team since 1968, and they're going to improve on that dramatically tonight.
Just amazing. They just do not let the opposition score.
Best score against them on this ground, 88 by Fremantle. And they kicked 6 goals in the last quarter from a long way down to achieve that. Here's a turnover. Thompson's got it. Pickett bringing him down, not maliciously, but in the eyes of Adelaide fans, Byron can't do a lot right. Goodwin. Very good first half when goals were hard to come by. He kicked 2 of Adelaide's 4 first half goals. Matner has a lovely long left foot. Henschel and McGregor both up. Welsh was down, and he might kick another. He will kick another. The Crows go further ahead. Scott Welsh has no. Well, they do go further ahead. Scott Welsh has 3 goals too.
He liked it.
We all thought it was home.
Crows fans behind the goals, right?
Not sure what went wrong.
It'll matter little. Kick to half-back and Biglan's. Great to see him back on the ground after a very heavy knock, courtesy of Byron Pickett. And speaking of knocks, there's a bit happening off the ball.
Play off.
Welsh's marks inside 50.
They'll play the mark.
Just silly, mate, okay?
Brett Montgomery in the thick of things off the ball. But Welsh has got it. He's kicked 3 goals, 2. He was 11th on the goal-kicking table at the end of the home and away season. He's up to 55 for the year. Kicking at 70%, good conversion rate. No doubt about that one.
And let's have a look at this one. Was it touched on the line? The goal umpire in perfect position.
Welsh wasting no time in making up for it.
Adelaide Crows have kicked 15 of the last 18 goals, and there's a coach with a few concerns now. He's got an ageing team. He's got a team that wasn't hungry at the start of the season. They won 3 of their first 10 as reigning premiers, and maybe a loss of this magnitude might force the coach to make some pretty tough decisions.
He won't have enjoyed it. The second half has just about amounted to surrender, which is not the Port Adelaide way. Thompson to Burton. Crows doing it at will now. It's a good training drill for next weekend, and Treadray gives away an obvious free kick. The Crows allowed to run on. They have the midfield to themselves. Mackner to the Rolls Royce.
He's good overhead, Henschel, too.
He has a great pair of hands, and as I say, long arms. They seem to get the ball from when it's almost beyond grasp.
What Neil Craig has done in the second half, he's played with 4 tall forwards, and that's probably the reason why in these perfect conditions they've gone long in the second half. And what it means is that Henschel, he's getting the 4th tallest defender. Now, he's going to outmark that player because Welsh and Perry and McGregor, they get the 3 bigger fellas. So you put Trent Henschel up there with his marking ability, he'll do what he's done in this second half.
He looks like an old scarecrow, but he plays very polished football.
You're still there, Brett. You're still on it.
For his second of this final quarter.
Still there, Brett. Still there.
Port Adelaide fans hushed. No, not going to have another goal rubbed into their system right now. The margin is 74 points, which equals the highest ever margin achieved in a showdown. Adelaide hold the record. They're a big chance to better it.
Well, let's look ahead to next week, Rob. Can the Crows do what they did in round 22 and beat the Eagles on their home turf?
Yes, because they've done it pretty easily tonight. They've been hard when it's been required. They've got options up forward. Rashuda's come in to strengthen the midfield. Their defence is the best performed defence in the competition. The Eagles' forward line, I think, has got some problems.
Graham Johncock is limping off for Adelaide here. Hart coming back on. And there's another mark by Henschel.
Johncock got smashed in the centre square by Treadray a couple of minutes back.
Inside 50, and the mark's taken by McGregor, and this is becoming embarrassing for Port Adelaide. Just to make it 80 points.
And that's where Johncock
landed on the ankle, didn't he?
Copped the whack.
Daniel, no closer.
And look at the size of Warren Treadray. How'd you like that to hit you?
Dominic, can you pop round a couple? Thank you.
So Ken McGregor
Thank you.
lining up for goal number 2.
Room, just out a couple. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Right there, Darryl.
It's the Crows by 80.
Picking holes in Port Adelaide's defence at will. Yes, it's another one.
Time for that magic word, Robert.
Yes, it is a destroyation, no doubt about that. And the amazing thing with Port Adelaide, they have had 28 entries into their forward 50 for the game. And their record low is 30 in their history. So they are heading towards another record that they don't want.
Pearce.
29.
Who's an exciting talent. Puts it inside 50. Treadray still can't get a disposal inside attacking 50. An amazing stat.
That is amazing, isn't it?
And they are giving it to him. 20 scoring shots to 2 since half-time. 13 goals, 7 to 2 goals is the extent of the damage. It's been carnage. Kane Corns, Cassisi, Just might kick one here. Touched. Port's first behind since the long interval. 13-7 to 2-1.
McLeod short. Receives once again. Goes out wide to half back to Tory, who, as we said at the start of the game, is playing his first game since round 17 because of injury. Very satisfied Adelaide Crows box tonight. They have smashed their arch rival. Clark, another great knockout to Thompson. There's Byron. Kicks it inside out. Marnie flies, can't take the mark. Cassisi once again to Kane Corns, to Franco, around the corner. Going to be a long and bitter wake for Port Adelaide fans and for their players as Marnie intercepts. And who go back and try and kick goal number 2.
Hasn't had a lot to beat, but I think he's been their best forward.
Rob, you're talking about some hard decisions. Any spring to mind for Mark Williams?
Well, he has got an ageing list. I think there might be 8 players out there who are 29 plus. Now, that's okay if you're in good form and the team's on the rise, but overall, as reigning premiers, you'd have to say they've had a disappointing season. To finish off this way, obviously Matthew Primus, unfortunately, injured again.
We have to say his career's in jeopardy now. 3 knee reconstructions. You'd have to think that it might be over. You've got Wanganeen's playing on, of course.
Wanganeen will go on. Wanganeen's 299th game. He'll be the first Aboriginal player to clock up 300. That's a wonderful achievement. But you've got Montgomery,
Wakeland,
and Wakeland, who are both around the 32 mark. Just depends on the coach whether he believes that it's probably time to get them going again and put some fresh blood in. Lee Matthews certainly did that. He decided through this season that it was time to introduce fresh blood into that Brisbane team.
Hasn't Ben Rutten become a hero? He's had 14 possessions, 8 marks, and Trev Ray's figures are exactly the same, but as we've pointed out, none of them have occurred inside the 50. And it's Ben Rutten's night. This is Simon Goodwin.
Get on, Simon!
Had a wonderful season, 3 goals tonight. Sits it up, and Bassett will take a free kick.
I'd like to think that Josh Franco would continue on because he's missed a couple of years with injuries and
he's 31.
I'd like to see him go on. Adam Kingsley's another who might have to look at his future.
He's 30.
Matthew Bishop has probably got a couple more years left in him.
Matthew's 30.
Yeah, look, they have got an old list.
Well, the defenders are sharing the ball around among themselves at the attacking 50. Bassett, who'd kicked just 2 goals for the year, passes up the opportunity to kick another and gives it to Ben Hart, who has 3 for the season. Will the old leg get it home? Not quite. Adelaide by 78 points, and the torment almost over for Port fans, although perhaps it's just about to begin because they've got to get out of here yet.
Jew brings it in. What about the midfield for West Coast, Rob? The fabulous 4. How are they going to cope with that?
Well, what you've got with the Adelaide team, they've got tall wingers in Matner, who just put that spoil on, and Burton. So one of them can go with Andrew Embley, the tall West Coast winger. You would think that a Shirley or a Skipworth would run with Chris Judd. They don't want to be too defensive, because you've got playmakers out there in Edwards and Goodwin, Rashudo, McLeod. And they've taken this game right up to the opposition in the second half. I reckon Neil Craig at half-time said to his players, hey, boys, you're better than them. Win the clearances, go long into the forward line, let's back ourselves. And as a result, they've just had this outstanding second half. A lot of these Adelaide players haven't played a lot of finals football, so this will be wonderful for their confidence.
Perry, Western Australian, will head west next weekend and try and win a preliminary final with Adelaide. He roosts home his third goal. The pain is not over yet for the Power. The margin has blown out to 84 points. And this front half of no big names has produced a massive score for Adelaide tonight.
It's a fair roost, wasn't it?
Those four players that we've been talking about, McGregor and Henschel and Perry and Welsh, have kicked 10 goals between them tonight, so it's a terrific return.
Life doesn't get much better than this if you're wearing the colour of the Crows, but for Matthew Primus, premierships are a distant dream.
Marks inside 50, 22-5 in favour of the team going forward yet again. McLeod, there's another one as he finds Rashuto.
Don't they love giving it to their skipper?
Pickett stands the mark. He goes short. Just couldn't quite find Doughty. Pearce just wobbles a talk to the wing. McLeod. Oh, clever as he tried to knock it with Rashuto, but not quite. So have another throw in. So the preliminary finals next week. Friday night, St Kilda versus Sydney MCG. Saturday afternoon,
Finish off with the arms.
West Coast versus Adelaide at Subiaco Oval. That will be a day game.
Port Adelaide's forward 50 entries in the second half is 10. That's a world record low.
Franco over to Wanganeen. To Montgomery, to Lade. He's got Treadray. Will he get there? He does. So he breaks his duck inside 50. Treadray around the body has missed.
A showdown Bronx for the acting captain of Port Adelaide. Graham Corns wrote in this morning's local press of the dangers of winning finals matches easily. Port were coming off a very easy win. Now Adelaide will come off a very easy win and face the fresh West Coast Eagles. Tonight, Neil Craig's night, Adelaide's night. They have scored a massive victory. And the surprising season of the Crows goes on for another week, and we'll go to Perth for a preliminary final.
Victory ever in a showdown for Adelaide tonight. 83 points, surpassing the 74-point margin, which was the earlier record. They have smashed Port Adelaide as we go down to the boundary line at Andrew Marr.
Thanks very much, Quarters. Ben Rutten. He was going to be the one. If they were going to win the game, they were going to go through Warren Treadray.
Yeah, well, I mean, our midfield put an amazing amount of pressure on them, and our clearances from the centre in that last half were just unbelievable, which makes it tough for any forward.
We came here expecting one of the great battles. You've absolutely flogged them. Could you have predicted this in your wildest dreams?
Not really, but